Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Turtles Homestead. Today I am going to be starting some seeds for my fall garden. I have been following along with our Stony Acres doing their year-round gardening workshops on YouTube. They have a course that you can sign up for. But I've been taking copious amounts of notes, and so I am going to get started on getting some seeds in my new seed starting setup. So today I'm going to be putting in the seed starter Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kohlrabi, broccoli, cauliflower, and maybe some bok choy if I have those seeds. So the whole premise of this is you start fall planting 6 to 8 weeks before your first frost date, and our first frost date here in Northeast Tennessee is around October the 15th. And one of the things when fall gardening, if you look on the harvest or maturity dates on the seed package, you have to add 15 days to that because the days are getting shorter. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. So come along and help me start some seeds. Okay, I got my bucket of seeds right here. I'm going to dig through here and find the seeds that I'm going to be starting today. Let's see. It's a big bucket of seeds. So I believe I've got them somewhat sorted. I need to find a better system than this. Oh, it's my California cowpeas. Those are going in for cover crop hopefully this week, so I'm going to leave them out. These are some that I harvested from last year's cowpeas that we grew. Okay, here is some spinach, some mustards. These are Siberian kale, collards. So these are all going to go in August. So today is July the 13th, and the only reason that I'm starting this early is because I wanted to get the Brussels sprouts have a really long growing season, so I need to get them. Probably should have well, I guess if our Stony Acres is in zone 6, I'm in zone 7. He started his last week, so I'm starting mine this week. So I got to find that. There's some Brussels sprouts, some Long Island Brussels sprouts from M.I. Gardner. So these are gonna. I love M.I. Gardner seeds. I just like his packaging and his prices, and they're awesome. So there are my Brussels sprouts. We've got some purple Vienna kohlrabi. We will get the kohlrabis out. Oh, parsnips. I did not put parsnips in. I'm going to put some parsnips. They're 130 days to maturity, so I'm going to start those also. Maybe get some of those going. Broccoli. I've got some Calabrese green sprouting broccoli. Let's give those a try. Broccoli. Bok choy from a good neighbor down the street. Baker Creek Brussels sprouts, but I'll tell you, I don't have good luck with Baker Creek seeds, but we'll give them a try. Mammoth red rock cabbage, that's what I want to try in the fall. See if we got some time to get that going. Cauliflower, self-blanching cauliflower, and collards. Which I think collards are also going in later on in August. These are all summer crops. Garlic chives, corn, amaranth, and borage. Boy, I do not need any more borage seeds. Alright, so I need corn, sugar snap peas, corn, early Alaskan peas. I think that might be amaranth, more corn, spaghetti squash, cucumbers, zucchini, turnip. I need turnip greens, not turnip greens, I mean turnips. So maybe there's some turnips in these greens. All right, so we'll leave those greens out. All right, so I think I'm going to go through these seeds and pick out the ones that I'm going to get started. I'm going to put some dirt in here and then I'm going to get started. Just want to wrap up my seed starting from yesterday. I got all of this seeded. I've got white kohlrabi and purple kohlrabi. I've got 6 of each plant here. I've got 6 pak choy and toi choy planted. And then I've got some 3 Mammoth Rock red cabbage and 3 golden acre cabbages planted in here. And then let's see here. We got 3 self-blanching cauliflower and 3 amazing cauliflower. I hope they really are amazing. Then I've got 3 calabrese broccoli and 3 Waltham broccoli. So that's 6 broccoli, 6 cauliflower, 6 cabbages. And then over here I've got 6 Brussels sprouts. I got the Growinger, 3 Growinger and 3 Long Island. And then I up-potted my squash plants that I had going because they got a little leggy. It was before I got the lights. And so they got a little leggy, so I up-potted them in the solo cups. Getting ready. So this is going to be in our fall garden. And so we'll go out to the high tunnel and I'll show you what's growing on in there. And then kind of where we're going to put all of these things. And then we still got some other things to plant. Then we'll be direct seeding some in the high tunnel. And I'm thinking about my gray zucchinis were not doing good out in the food forest. So I'm thinking I'm going to plant some more gray zucchini up there. And then the Japanese beetles have pretty much decimated our green beans. So I'm definitely going to plant some more green beans. But we have probably, maybe have about 100 days till our first frost date. So I've got plenty of time to get those crops in. And I also sorted out all of my seeds. So we'll get a look at that too. So I've got my little 3-gallon seed bucket. Seed bucket. I'm going to develop a better system for storing and holding these seeds. But I've got all of my root crops. I've got them all sorted in individual Ziploc bags. And in here I've got turnips, carrots, parsnips, beets, radishes, onions, and celery is in here. Now, I know celery is not technically a root crop, but it is kind of an outlier to me, so it goes with the onions. And then I've got my leafy greens in here, and I've got lettuce, collard, spinach, mustards, kale, and Swiss chard all in here. And I've got all of my beans and peas in here, and I've got dried beans, green beans, cow peas, and snap peas. And then for the dried beans, I've got, I think, cannellini, I've got black turtle beans, and then I've got black beans. And then also I've got in here, I've got my brassicas. I've got cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kohlrabi, and pak choy. And then the rest of this is, these are turnips, greens that we got from the co-op, They do not make a bulb. They are just a cover crop for just greens. And then I've got all different kinds of corn. So I've got Hickory King white corn. I've got, there were bush beans. I need to put those in the bean bag. And then I've got candy corn. I've got ambrosia. And then I've got some Trucker's yellow corn from M.I. Gardner. And I've got some Japanese Hollis popcorn. And then some Jim corn. And then one other from, I think it's just a yellow corn. I've got this little photo box. I like it because it says plant seeds of hope. So that's what it really is when you're growing a garden, faith and hope. I got some squash seeds that I saved, and these are squash seeds. That's what is germinated over there. So I can't remember what they are from last year. But in this box, I've got, these are the summer crops. So I've got some melons. I've got winter squash. I've got cucumbers and summer squash. Got tomatoes. Okra. This is okra, cardoon, and artichokes. And this is peppers. And then my big bag of herbs that I'm saving because I'm planting an herb garden to build an herb garden next year. So I'm pretty excited about that and looking forward to that. We just got still some more trees and clearing and stuff to do before that comes to fruition. All right, so let's go out to the high tunnel and we'll show you where we're going to put all this stuff. Well, and it is a hot one today, I'll tell you. I don't know if it's the hottest day on record, but it's pretty muggy for Northeast Tennessee. I said yesterday it was Alabama hot here, which I do not miss. And my mom's flower garden's doing really good. Look how pretty everything looks. So look in the high tunnel. It says 80 degrees. I don't think that temperature thing's working good. So here we got some San Marzano tomatoes here, and these are Arkansas Travelers, and some Tabasco peppers. And then over there, hiding behind the tomatoes are my cayenne peppers. So here's where I pulled out, and that's catnip. So here's where I pulled out the cauliflower. So it's got some bed space, and then this is a little cherry tomato plant that I picked up. And then those are cabbages. The cabbage and kale is about to come out because the kale, I think, even though it's indestructible and I don't think you could kill it, it's kind of bitter in the summer, and so I don't really like it. So I'm about to pull that out and feed that to the chickens. And my cabbages, I believe, well, they're not quite ready yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and take them, even though they're small, just to go ahead and get the beds ready. And that's another Arkansas Traveler. And all of these tomatoes, with the exception of these two plants, are, I think they're called Tennessee Yellow, and we honestly just don't like them. They don't have that good garden fresh tomato flavor. So I'm about to, I think, either pull all of them, because I harvested a great big bunch of them the other day. Grow really well, plants exploded when I was going on vacation, and so I'm gonna pull those. And that middle one is a cherry that acts like it's gonna get blooms on it, but then they never do. So I'm about to empty some of this, or just kind of nip it up and prune it up so that it's not taking up so much space. And so these are our purple Japanese sweet potatoes. They'll be ready in a few weeks. And I pulled half of our potatoes the other day, so I'm going to have some room in there. And then these, for whatever reason, in this bed, I think it's lacking some nutrition, because these tomatoes, this is a Stupus, I believe, and then also another San Marzano, and you can see it's got some blossom end rot, and I put some calcium on it, but it's just not doing good. So I'm thinking I'm just going to give up and take that on out too, because I got a really good looking San Marzano over there that's doing really well. And then these are also cabbages, and these are early Jersey Wakefield cabbages, and I just think it's too hot in here. So hopefully next year we'll get these in the ground a little sooner. And so we've got, I gathered about 15 pounds of potatoes from this one row, and so we've left a couple of plants that were slower to germinate or slower to come up, so we'll let them grow, and I'm gonna give this back row another week or so to get some more growth. I mean, clearly they could come out right now, but we're seeing. And then my lettuce is all done, so I'm gonna clean up this part of the bed. It's gonna get ready for fall planting. That part of that bed is gonna get ready for fall planting, and then that part of that bed back there is gonna get ready for fall planting. And then I think over here where I've got sweet pepper, and that one's got a pretty big sweet pepper on it. But I got started some new cucumbers in here, and they seem to be doing good. This was a piece of this plant, so it seems to be doing okay. So I think, yeah, so I want to take up some of these yellow tomatoes, and then that's where I'm going to plant I think I'm going to put some more squash, the gray zucchini in one of these beds where one of these tomato plants is going to come back. And then I think once we get the potatoes up over there, I'm going to bring in a cattle panel, a piece of a cattle panel, and then I'm going to sow some more Blue Lake stringless pole beans in here and try to get a good crop of those, because I don't think the Japanese beetles are just decimating it, and I don't think we're going to get even enough to do any canning, which I still have some left over from last year, but we do like fresh sauteed green beans, and so I'd like to have some. These are our annual plants in our food forest. We've got just yellow crookneck squash going there. It's doing pretty good. These are our Italian zucchinis, and they're doing okay. Not doing good, but here is where the Japanese beetles have just decimated our pole beans, and they just really, this whole thing should be, this cattle panel should be covered, and it's full of blooms, and you can see there's some beans on here, but they are just flat, just eating it up, which is really sad. And it's interestingly that we have yard-long asparagus beans planted right beside them, and they don't even touch those, which it just makes no sense to me why they do that. And boy, our blackberries, that is a triple crown blackberry bush, and that thing, I've got to get out here and look at this. Look at those. That's crazy. I got to get out here and pick all of these because they're just so beautiful, and the birds are eating them. So I got to get out here and get them. But it is just, I mean, it is full. Both sides. It's crazy, and they are so good and so sweet. And then we'll get a look at the gray zucchini. Our okra's coming along pretty good over here. I saw yesterday, I weeded out here and saw that we have got some little okras coming on. And I will I'll insert the names of these okras, because these first two, we have 3 rows of okra. The first 2 here are one variety, and then this is a third variety, because we couldn't, they're both kind of orangey red, and we couldn't remember which one we liked the best last year, because I planted 3, maybe 4 different kinds last year. And so so we're going to see which ones we like and keep those. And then this is the gray zucchini. As you can see, I've cut off a lot of dead limbs and leaves, and I got one little zucchini off of it the other day, but it's just not doing very well, and I'm not sure why. And then we've got leftover sweet potatoes planted right here, and then we've got some sweet potatoes down there and a little bit of potatoes, and that was our flower bed last year. And interestingly, only 2 sunflowers reseeded, and 1 zinnia, and 1 other flower, I believe it is, I'm not sure what it is, but nothing else reseeded, which is oddly strange. But Jim went through yesterday and cut a lot of the comfrey down. We fed to the chickens. This is our second level of our food forest, and we still got some planting to do in there. And then we have 2 asparagus beds. They've all gone to seed. And then that is the third leg of our food forest, and it's got a lot of planting to do in there. And so I have 2 grape vines, and the Japanese beetles have decimated that too. As you can see, the little nasty boogers on there. They're just eating it up, and sadly too, because it had grapes on it. But we'll get rid of them. We will get rid of you little boogers. Just menace to society is what they are. So that is a look at that. So we are fully in the middle of summer, and these tomatoes will all start ripening soon. Look at that. It's a good looking Arkansas Traveler right there. That and these are San Marzanos. But you can look at the difference in the size of these San Marzanos compared to the size of these San Marzanos. I think this is what the plant's supposed to look like, and I'm not sure why this side of the high tunnel seems to be growing better, but we'll see. It's my first year growing in a covered high tunnel, and I was saying the other night, I was telling Jim, like, I'm not sure I'm digging growing the tomatoes in here, but so I think that maybe next year we're gonna I'll just go out here and show you. I want to take this flat side over here between the chicken coop and the high tunnel right in here, and kind of build put some fabric down and fill it with some weed barrier, and then maybe do potted plants. So I may grow some tomatoes in pots and see how things do out here. So that's a look at that. So we'll keep everybody updated on how the seeds are coming along, and when we get all this stuff planted. And hey, thanks for following along with us. And if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And hey, just follow us along on our journey. See ya.